on, guys? Today we are taking a look at Transformers Age of Extinction Leader Class Optimus Prime. Now, this figure is packaged in robot mode, as you could clearly see. Box is bigger than the Voyagers, duh. Box just pretty much has Sword of Judgment and Vector Shield on the back, vehicle mode, robot mode, Grimlock. That's it, nothing else. Let's open them up and take a look. Right out of the box, Prime actually doesn't look too bad. Yes, he is extremely kibble-tastic, meaning that he has a lot of his vehicle mode hanging off of him. And that is a shame, but I can kind of forgive them for the figure we have here. Now, if you think he looks similar to his first edition counterpart, I would like you to know that, well, the first edition is significantly larger. As you can see, they're similar, but actually they're very, very different. This Prime actually has more posability and a significantly different transformation than this Prime. Yeah, the first edition, we know how he transforms. It's a shell. And so is this guy, but it's more complex than just a couple of shell pieces. I'll show you in a minute. Posability-wise, he's actually pretty good. Head is on a swivel and a limited ball joint. Shoulders are ratcheted. Swivel right above the elbow. Elbows are ratcheted. And he actually has thumb movement, which is weird. No torso, well, limited torso articulation thanks to the skirt armor. Ratchet in the hips. Swivel above the knee. Ratchet in the knee. But you're really not going to be doing much with the knees. You can get some decent poses out of him, which are pretty decent. Not great, but decent. He does come with two different weapons. First off, the Sword of Judgment, which is very similar to the sword that the first edition figure came with, except it's painted. The figure has no problem holding it. I greatly appreciate that fact. And then the Vector Shield, which is a smaller version of the giant piece of plastic that the first edition figure came with, but cooler, and obviously a gun on the end. So he can wield it either as a gun or as a shield, either way. And in this case, he kind of wields it like a gun shield. So he's not a bad-looking figure, but this figure doesn't hold a candle to either the first movie leader class figure or the ROTF figure in robot mode. It just doesn't. Now, transformation for this figure is significantly different from the first edition figure, but there's kind of a similarity. So to start with, we're going to go ahead and take the side skirts, which we see right there, and fold them away from the body, and then reach under behind the side skirt and fold that away from the kibble, like so. Take the head, and we could push it down, but it'll just pop right back up. So what we have to do is take the chest plate and unpeg the chest plate and fold it forward, like this. And then we can push the head down, and the head will lock into place. Take his crotch skirt, or front skirt, and fold it straight up, like that. Then take the legs and rotate them 180 degrees and make sure they're straightened out. Otherwise, they're just going to catch on everything. For the feet, what we're going to do here is take the feet section, or the outside wheel section, rotate them 180 degrees so that the wheels are pointing towards the shins, or the back of the figure now, and then take his feet and fold them up into his heels. And then take the rear of the legs and twist them around into the rear, well, fold parts of the legs. Then take the grill sections, twist them around, and fold them down and snap them into place. And you can kind of already see the vehicle mode forming here. And then take the rear leg, or the bottom of the legs, and snap them together, which is actually harder to do than you would think, because there are several points where they snap together, and you just got to make sure you snap them all together, like 3 or 4 different points. So there's the front of the vehicle. Next, take what is the front of the vehicle part and fold that up, making sure you get the skirt underneath these little toe clips. And then just get the chest piece and kind of point it down into towards the cab here. And sometimes this doesn't line up. Okay, there we go. You want it to be a perfect 90-degree angle. Then take the shoulders and fold them underneath, unsnap them, and then fold them underneath the chest plate, taking the arms and making sure the palms are pointing out, and have them pointing out and the arms pointed to the back of the vehicle mode. So the same thing up here. And the arms are very tight. Or I should say the shoulders are very tight, which I do appreciate. Everything holds together really well on this figure, I have to admit. Then slide the kibble up and flip it down, and it will peg into place just behind the front wheels, like that. Take the side bits here and fold them up over the robot arms, and they will snap into place. And then these shoulder pads, or what were the shoulder pads, will snap together and form the top of the vehicle mode. And there we go. The alt mode is the Prime that we all expected him to be. It's actually not bad at all. I really do like this alt mode. And the robot mode isn't too bad either. It just seems better proportioned, or actually seems a lot bigger than the FE figure, or the first edition figure. You can, of course, store the shield here in vehicle mode, and you can store the sword in here as well. There's even a built-in scabbard under here, which is actually pretty cool. And the scabbard is also in robot mode, so you just slide it in there and get him stuck in, and there you go. It's stored in there. I didn't show that to you in robot mode because, well, I forgot. I apologize. Overall, it's not a bad vehicle mode at all. I do greatly worry, though, that these sections here, the runners in the vehicle mode, are going to be broken very easily. Now, how does this guy compare to the first edition figure? Well, as you can see, the first edition figure is bigger. A lot bigger. Overall, Leader Class Prime isn't too bad. Yeah, it's nowhere near as good as the first movie figure, or ROTF, but it's still not bad. And to be honest, I was expecting terribleness. I was not expecting this figure to be any good, to be honest. After getting a hold of the first edition figure and finding it very lackluster, I'm pleasantly surprised. Is this figure perfect? By that I mean, is it great? No, it isn't. It's not great. But it's not bad either. Which, unfortunately, for some of these Prime figures lately, or for the past couple of years, I think is the best we're gonna get. I appreciate the fact that they really went through some effort to add some extra engineering into this guy. There's chrome on the figure, which I appreciate, and the figure holds together really well. I'm surprised at that. I honestly am. And, for the piece de resistance for the transformation is the head pop-up, which I'll show you. And holy crap! By pop-off, I mean launch-off. Whoa! Well then, I've transformed this guy a couple of times now, and his head has never skyrocketed off before. I'm really glad I got that on camera. Oh my! Okay then. So I think I'm going to hold off transforming him for a while. If you weren't able to get the first edition figure, the Leader Class figure is pretty good. It's, as I said, nowhere near as much fun as the first movie figure or the ROTF figure is, but he's definitely worth a look. He has yellow light piping, which is cool, I guess, and apparently a head-launching gimmick. So guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video review of Transformers Age of Extinction Leader Class Prime. I'm Baltmatrix, and I'm thoroughly surprised.